start recording. Okay, welcome back, Hadley. Did Kyle make it back? Oh, Madison. Hi, Madison. I don't think Kyle made it back. Okay, so anyway, let me head over to Canvas. Make sure you've got your attendance filled out for the day. Also remember, we're doing this again tomorrow. Tomorrow is our last day of school. Yikes. Okay, so we're live at 11:30 to go over your instructions for today. Our project is now coming to an end, so I'm going to cover task 6, which is the presentation portion of it, or the PowerPoint. If you haven't begun, I'm sorry, you have a lot of work to do, but you can find the document way down here under May 5th. It's called Road Trip. When you want to submit your work, I now have I have it here, the link or the assignment, and it's called Road Trip Submission, Packet, and Presentations. Remember, both of those things need to be submitted, and I'll try to be checking that as you submit things. I'll try to be looking to see if you missed something or forgot to submit something, or maybe you submitted a blank version instead of the one you were working on, but and I'll try to get back to you. So make sure you're like checking your email to see if I'm trying to communicate with you at some point. And then I'll get all of that graded. Our grades are due Tuesday morning, so they can print report cards for the first round of students who are going to come into the building on Tuesday afternoon. Hadley. Good. Hadley's had some technical difficulties. Okay, so back to Canvas. There's the assignment for you to go ahead and submit, and if you get done today, you're welcome to go ahead and submit it right away. So I'm going to open up my document, the one I've been working on with you, to go over this presentation, what it should look like, how many slides you should have. What's nice about this is that because you worked on so many images throughout the packet, you really don't have a whole lot to do in this presentation. It's really just kind of fitting it all together, giving it a theme, a title slide, and that kind of thing. So remember that my first stop is San Diego. I did get my car rented. I showed you how to do the hotels when you need to stay overnight on the way. Another thing to point, well, never mind, I'll wait till I get to that map part. We calculated how much we were going to spend on food, your total cost of your trip, pictures from restaurants. Yesterday you should have filled all of this in with your sightseeing, why you chose the city you did. Please do not forget, whichever city it was that you picked to tie to your 8th grade U.S. history curriculum, in one of these things, why you chose the city or sightseeing, you've got to address that. Okay, I have to be able to find that. If I can't find that somewhere, you will lose points. Okay, so on to the presentation. Oh, I gotta get this out of this mode, because this bothers me. I wish there was a way to like create a document so that when you typed in it, it didn't shift stuff down. It just kept it there. I don't know. Okay, so you can use PowerPoint, Google Slides, or some other presentation tool. I'm going to put this here. Hold on. Somebody type him. If none of that works, he can watch the video that I post later. I'm not going to do that. Hold on. I want the Skype open, and I want the Word document minimized so I can see your chatting in case someone has a question. Okay, there we go. Thank you, Hadley. Okay, so it's up to you what you use. Most students will use PowerPoint or Google Slides. There's some other presentation tool, I think, called Prezi or something that was kind of popular for a while, but nobody really uses that anymore. Most of us are just most comfortable with Google Slides or PowerPoint. So what pictures do you need to include? Your Google map routes, and you'll put those on each of your city pages. Sites from each city. So what were the sightseeing things you wanted to do? You don't have to put everything, right? But don't try to be basic about it. Like try to, spice it up, spruce it up. You do need information about your rental car, so most students will just do that on their own slide. Hotels, restaurants, other relevant pictures. Most of that you'll group by city. So my typical recommendation is have a title slide, have a slide for each of your 5 main cities. You don't really even have to address those one night overnight stays in your PowerPoint. You don't even need to address those. Those are on your hotel log, and I know that that gets calculated into the overall cost of your trip. And any other information that you think might be relevant. The last piece I want to talk about, because I don't think I showed you how to do this, was the entire road trip route picture. So this is going to require you to go back to Google Maps, but it won't, it's because what you're going to do is you're going to take a whole picture of the big giant map of your whole trip. So if someone would like to maybe share their cities, we'll just make some up. I guess we'll just do that. So I'm going to show you how to do that because this does need to go in your presentation. This last part here, this is the only part I don't think I've addressed. And I tried to do it one day and it wasn't working right and I got really frustrated. And then I found out why. I guess you're not supposed to like zoom in or out on the map. Okay, so I'm going to go to Google Maps. Remember that.
Hey,
yeah.
I just got here.
Hey.
What's up?
Okay, so
I was in the shower and I was like, oh shoot, it's 11:30.
That's fine. San Diego. I don't even know where that is.
San Diego?
San Diego.
That's interesting.
I thought it was kind of quiet. I couldn't figure out. Okay, so directions. 415. Is it east or west? Wait, I think it's east because it's on the east side of Highway 3. Okay, so this is what you do. Started in Kendallville, went to San Diego. Now, don't do anything here. Don't like zoom out or zoom in. Don't mess with this map. Don't pick a different route. Just let it go. Even if it doesn't end up matching your route. So when somebody asked me, one question was, how come every time I type in like the destination, I get a different route highlighted in blue? And that's because this is how smart Google is. See all these little yellow guys? This is all construction. So that means that if you travel this route, when you get to these spots, there's construction. There's even a crash. That's how active this is. Now, was the crash at 6 a.m. this morning? Maybe it's cleaned up and fine, but it's kind of letting you know like there could be slow traffic. Google will typically give you the fastest route. Now, if there was like major road construction happening somewhere and they were like extending lanes or building a giant bridge or something, it might switch your road map the next time you type in. So don't super panic if you can't get the exact route from the other pictures you snipped earlier, because this is just going to give us a basic, like, look at all this whole map that I went on. So what you're going to do, type in your first location just like you did on day 1. Click add destination. So I'm going to pretend like the next place I want to go is, where do I want to go? I want to go out east, but I also want to go to Florida. So I'm going to go to Florida and then I'm going to go out east. Key West, Florida.
That's definitely the best route possible.
So check out what this does. So now it's just going to add, and this total right here is going to be like your total trip. So here we go, Kendallville, Indiana to San Diego. Now I'm out at Key West, Florida. Doesn't that look like that's kind of a waste right there? Why did it go loop like that? Why doesn't it just go straight? The shortest distance between 2 points is a straight line. Okay, then I want to go to Maine. What's a cool city on the coast in Maine?
I have no clue.
Oh, well, somebody look at one. Look one up.
I got you.
Look up, like, coastal towns in Maine. I'm also going to go, that's going to be my last stop. I'm going to go Myrtle Beach. No, Charleston. Charleston, South Carolina.
You can go to Kennebunkport.
You're making stuff up.
I'm dead but serious.
New York, New York. So do you see what I'm doing here? I'm adding these locations and check out what it's doing. Kennebuck, what's it, spell it? K-E.
I'll type it in the chat. No,
I can't see the chat anymore. I want to see.
K-E-N-N-E.
K-E-N-N-E. Kennebunkport. There we go.
Told you it's a city. Why would I lie to you?
I don't know. That's just a funny name. And then I'm going to type in my home destination again as my last, because I got to get back home. So check this out. It creates, look at that map. How cool is that? It creates this giant map of your entire road trip, and you can trace it and see all the places you went. So
It'd be kind
that's,
of dumb just to go to San Diego and then go all the way back to Key West and then travel up the coast.
I want to see my brother. So
No, but I'm just saying, like, if you're actually taking that trip, that would suck.
true. Okay,
Like,
so then
personally,
this
I
is,
would have to stop and do stuff on the way, so that way I would, like, wouldn't be bored.
you got to get back by the time
That's a
school.
long time of
So
driving.
on this one's trying to say,
116 hours.
I know,
That's
right? 116 hours in the car. How many days is that? Divide that by 24. I don't know.
I got you.
I don't know. It's probably close to like between 4 and 5 days. That's 24
It's
hours.
4.83.
You can only drive for 8 hours, so 116 or 800 miles. So let's do 7753
4.83 days.
divided by
And
8.
then divide that by 8.
It's like 10 days of just driving your whole trip. Okay, so anyway, this
Multiply that
needs
by
to be Xander. This needs to be snipped and put in your presentation. You are welcome to put it anywhere you want. Some students use it on like their title slide. Other students put it at the end as like their conclusion. You know, this is the route I took. But this has to be done. And so now I've shown you how to do that over here with Google Maps.
Herbst, that would take 38 and 2/3 days.
No, it wouldn't.
Yes, it would.
No, I did 7,700 and something divided by
Oh,
800.
you did it by miles. I was saying, never mind. I'm
taking the scenic route.
My brother has to get his removed.
I did that. It's not a big deal. All right. So then, any questions on your PowerPoint? You understand what's expected of you? I'm going to show you one. I think I like created a really rough like draft here to show you. So a title slide. Make sure your name's on it, please. Here was San Diego. Make sure you have the hotel, maybe one restaurant, your map, and a sightseeing. You can put all the sightseeing places on there. You can get really creative with how this looks. Obviously, this is very basic, just an outline to show you. So then there would be city 2, 3, 4, and 5. Also notice on that map, I did not, I went somewhere else last time. Look, what the heck did I do? I did not, on the last map there, put, I can't talk. What am I even trying to say? Oh, don't put any of those little stops you make on the way. So it's just your 5 main cities to get that giant map. So other items to discuss at the end, maybe your car. Some students put a slide just for their car, or then you'll also have a slide that has this road trip on it, the whole road trip somewhere. So I love how it does that. It like designs it for you. So somewhere talk about your car, and somewhere put this road trip picture. Beginning, the middle, the end, wherever you want to put it. So that's the expectation for the presentation. We're not going to be obviously presenting them. I considered doing that tomorrow. I don't know. I think tomorrow I either rather just talk or chat or whatever. And, you know, if you still have questions because you're still working, remember this isn't actually due until Monday at noon, but really it's in your best interest to, we have to put the food and how many days we're, no, that's all in the packet, Kylie. So that I'll read about all that stuff when I grade your packet, because you do 50 points of this is your packet. The other 10 points to make it a 60-point project is this presentation. And really the presentation part's, again, going to be super simple because hopefully you've got all those pictures already saved. You don't have to put how you calculated all the food. You don't have to put how you calculated the cost of your trip. Some students like to include that. My trip is going to cost me $6,027 or something like that. Yeah. What if you're stopping at your grandparents'? Are you stopping at your grandparents' as one of your stops, or are you stopping at your grandparents' to spend the night? I mean, it's 60 points. So yeah, if you're gonna just stop at your grandparents to spend the night driving, that's you don't have to include that. Xander can teach tomorrow. Yeah, Xander, have your lesson ready.
All right, we're gonna go over quadratic formula tomorrow, guys.
No, because we haven't actually done that.
No.
Hopefully that's where they start you next year in geometry is with the quadratic formula. Yeah.
Oh
So
well.
okay, I'm gonna stop sharing. I'm gonna stop recording.